Yo, we've been making progress. Check this engine bay out now. So, we have the wire harness preliminarily ran. Would you just look at it? So, wire harness kind of ran where it sort of ish kind of needs to go. I'm going to use a little bracket right here to hold it, and then it'll go over the top of the turbo ish, sort of out in that middle of open space of nothing right here. We have the boost controller solenoid mounted here, GM 3-bar map sensor mounted here. I really don't like these wires, but I'm not going to cut this harness up, so I'll tuck them out of the way. Over here, battery trays in, leading coils mounted, wires just hanging over the edge. We've got the belts loosely on. I still need to most likely get a dual alternator belt pulley, which I don't think I have extras laying around, so I'm going to have to buy one. Not a big deal. May just try to run it without it, but you never know. It'll probably end up getting one. Anyways, so I got that belt just chilling in there. Alright, now y'all, just wanted to show you this real quick. So, stock Turbo 2 boost neck thing goes here, because this would come up, go through the top mount intercooler, which comes from the turbo. Just literally go straight over the top of the engine into there. So notice I got it sitting on here. Oil filter's in the way, like right in the way. No way we're going around the back of it. Maybe go up and over it, or come up and then go over. But to me, not worth it. So we ain't going to use this one. This is an NA inlet. So this is what you'd find on the S5 NA. Look at that. Fits in there. But it points right at my power steering, which I really don't like. So I need to figure out a neck that can get me around all of this, because I was going to try to use this plastic one, but I don't think it's going to work because of my power steering. It's just going straight towards it. I can't be having that. And there's really this AC line ain't moving. This needs to kind of be here. I need it to just go straight in reality. So that's next week's issue, making intercooler piping. Should be fun. So I got to figure out a neck situation. So who knows, because this ain't gonna fit. Yo, we are out here again, working on the exhaust now. I've got the downpipe on. I already went down there, pulled my mid pipe out. So this pipe, 3-inch on this end, 2.5 on this end, and I just had them compress it down, welded a flange to it. This connected to my header, that went to the 3-inch side back there. So the 3-inch matches the Racing Beat Rev 1 or whatever the heck it is. Turbo 2 catback is what I had on here. Originally I didn't have an NA exhaust on it. That's just what I was able to find, so that's what it has. So after measuring it off, I need to add 4 inches to this, and it'll hit the downpipe, and then I'll just have to caulk it a little bit. It's really like nothing big. It's just I'll mock it up first before I tack weld this ends. That way it's not on a wonky angle. So what I'm going to do is cut this off the best I can right around this weld, so that way I can reuse this flange, and then I will section that off. New piece. Bam bam. Weld it up. Let's get done. Trying to not make a ton of work for myself. I don't really want to remake the whole mid pipe. I'd rather just patch it up like that, and it'll be good to go. So that's what we're going to get cranking on now. Just finished the exhaust. Basically just took an extension of 2.5-inch pipe, welded it to the 3-inch pipe. I had to hammer this down just to make the gap smaller, and then I just re-welded the existing flange back to it. This flange fits the downpipe as well as the old header. So there's the old header. There's that. So all it basically needed is the downpipe was 4 inches shorter, pretty much. The angle is a little bit different, but just barely. So got that patched up. Not much has changed out here, so I've just been messing with the wiring and trying to figure out this turbo inlet deal. So I think I'm going to order a Rotary Works inlet. It'll point straight, and then I can direct. So the Rotary Works inlet will point right at the brake master, and I can direct my intercooler piping around the back of these hoses and out like I had showed you earlier, and then up to here and do all that deal. So, not getting super late, but getting a little later. Let the welder cool down. I also went around and installed every block-off plate. Is already completely done. Installed siliconed with a gasket for each one. Done. Still have to do the back one there, but I'll get that one here in a minute. And then I painted the water neck. So the thermostat cover is all fresh and ready to go on. Once I get the thermostat, I'll be ready to rock. So, we are moving. I was hoping to power up the car tonight, but I think I might just wait and power up the car tomorrow. So, I need to get a battery terminal to fix the broken one. Always something when you're working on cars. So, we have fuel system plumbed. Regulators mounted. Just running rubber lines because nothing crazy. So we have 550cc primary injectors, 750cc secondaries. I'm gonna switch them to 850s. I just don't have them yet. I'm going to plop the starter on real quick and hook up all the wiring for the battery so I can turn the key on, put the alternator on, and I'll slap the ECU in it. Just lay it all out in there. I'm going to make sure I don't have any fuel leaks, make sure the fuel pump comes on. Then I'm going to crank it with the injectors unplugged, so that way I can make sure it's making oil pressure. Obviously I'll put oil in it, but I'll put oil in it, make sure it's making oil pressure, and that my turbo is getting oil. And then I want to hook the rest of the, put the intake on, hook the rest of the wiring up, and we'll see if she lights off. So that's where we're at right now. Kind of been working on it a little bit. I did go and help one of my buddies today with his yellow FC, doing some wiring for him, so kind of took a break from this and did cars and coffee this morning. But we are going to be checking for fuel leaks in the next segment. So boom, check for fuel leaks. Alright y'all, so we've got everything hooked up, ready to check for fuel leaks, make sure we're making fuel pressure and that it primes, doesn't fuel. I got the laptop hooked up, the computer's hooked up. Go ahead and turn that so I can read it from that side. Hop over to the driver's side and we'll kick the key on, see what happens. Battery is hooked up, starter and everything's in. Oh, hey little guy, get out of here. Alright, let's say it's the moment of truth. However, I know that it should turn on. Alright, I got the fuel pump prime, and if you can't see, we made a huge mess. So, it's very wet down in there now. The fuel leaking all over the place. I don't have a flashlight to really show you. So, ideally, it's not coming from any of the injector seals, and it's coming from one of these. Oh my gosh, look at that. I didn't even put a hose clamp on that line. I can tell you right now, I bet it was spewing out of that pretty dang good. Alright, well, I'm going to put a hose clamp on that. Alright. Jeepers. Okay. Right now, I'm going to crank it. You're going to see no fuel leaks. Oh, dropped the keys. Oh my gosh. Alright. It's late. Struggling. Alright, right here. Cranking. No fuel leaks. Boom. Success! So, not leaking fuel means that I'm okay to go ahead and put on. Oh man, still leaking fuel from this side of the regulator. Oh, if we're leaking out of the pulsation dampener, I'm going to be super ticked. But that looks right where it's coming from. So, on the Series 4s, they have a thing called a pulsation dampener on the end. Basically, it's like a spring in the fuel line kind of deal. I don't know. I'm assuming it does some sort of dampens pulsing of the fuel system. So, anyways, they tend to leak. They look like that. It's just terrifying. So, anyways, pull the plastic nonsense off. May try to snug this baby up, but usually they just seep. Fuel leak fix, take 2. Was able to snug it down, and it looks like it's not leaking anymore at all. So, pulsation dampener fixed. Dropping a little bit of PSI back through the tank. I'm not seeing any more drips, drops, leaks, seeps, creeps. The bleeps, they're all gone. So, which is good. Everything's tight up here. Nothing crazy. Okay, cool. So, now what we're going to do, which I don't know if it's been spitting oil out yet, is I want to make sure that I'm getting oil to the turbo. So right here is the feed line. So what I'm going to do is I'm leaving this off, and I'm going to, I don't know if I want to necessarily keep cranking it, but basically I need to find out if I'm getting oil to the turbo for sure to make sure that we're good. You know, so I've been cranking on a little bit. I'll probably crank on it some more just to see if I can get oil to come out of this line, because I don't want to burn up the turbo, so I need to make sure we're getting oil there. Alright, so we've got upper intake manifold on. Pretty much all the wires are hooked up where they need to go, kind of. I need to go through and obviously it's going to come back off, and I'll rework it so it looks nice, but for now everything's hooked up. Belts are a little loose so it might squeal. We're just going to see if it'll light. If I can get some out of it, then we'll kill it real quick and call it a night. Just want to hear it fire. So, here we go. Sounds like she gonna run. Sounds like she gonna run. Cover your ears. Oh, this is gonna be annoyingly loud. Boom! It runs. Heck yeah, fired right up too. Heck yeah! Alright. Well, now I get to go and fix the rest of everything that's not completely done and tidy up everything. At least I know the computer will run it. Get my laptop hooked up to this thing and get it rolling. I don't know why I don't have my tack wasn't working, so I had to figure that out. But it runs. Woo! Cool. Alright, well, with that, you hop out of the car. Alright, well with that, I'm going to leave you guys off there. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, thanks for checking out all the dumb stuff that I decided to do to cars that run and drive already. So, now that we're back and got this thing running again, now I just got to tidy up everything, make sure we're good, button up the rest of pretty much a whole lot, make the intercooler piping, which you guys will see, and get some coolant in it. And it looks like, if you notice right here, this is my oil feed line. It's leaking a bunch of oil out of it. Looks like the turbo is going to be getting oil. So I can put that baby on and see what she does. So, thank you. Keep it rad.